And you've made it to the show. It's Tuesday. Welcome. It's Tuesday, January 17th. It's already middle of January, and it's Astrology and Alchemy with your hosts, Paranormal Sarah and Matthew Slosier. And I can't believe it. I see there's 4 people over here, 9 people over there, 12 people liking us over there.
The chat's not working, but it looks like it is. So just let me know if people are having issues out there. Let me know.
Yeah, man. If you're joining us live on YouTube or the Paranormal channel or one of our social media sites through Facebook, Brandy, Steph, Autumn, it looks like there's a good range of people already joining us in the chat. If you are joining us as a time traveler, maybe through Odyssey Radio, thank you so much. And we encourage you guys to share the show, continue to tune in each week and listen in, bring in a pen and paper and your fun energy like Carson and Katie and just all of our fun regulars that we have. We love seeing your face. Well, not really your face, I guess. Your profile. Your chat. We love having you. So
I got to add, I hate to interrupt this show because I know there's some other people on here, and I was debating whether I was going to do Mothman or a spirit box on Sunday. Not only did we have the weird thing, seeing apparitions in the kitchen and hearing noises, and one of my family members got scratched twice. I had I've never had this happen in my life. Gotta make sure I get this right. This way on the screen, I had a very large black shadowy thing take up the whole doorway and actually kind of like blot out a lamp I have to the right. That's like the majority of this light here. So
like a void, like a complete dark shadow,
I would say almost, if you saw, again, I didn't see it in this level of detail, but if you saw Prince of Darkness, which I love that movie, when they're doing the video thing and that there's that big like hulking shadow thing in the doorway kind of coming out, it's like I would have pictured just some massively large thing is what it looked like standing in the doorway.
How did it make you feel, Matt? You know the question I'm going to ask. How did it make you feel, Matt?
Well, I was just kind of like, oh, that's weird. And then by the time I recognized it, it was gone. And then I went about trying to debunk it. So, but yeah, the fact that there's like weird things happening with some of the kids and some of my one daughter saw somebody walking around the kitchen and there turned up being nobody there. And so there's some really weird shit going on in this house right now. So,
man.
So we'll be doing that. So I just wanted to add for the folks that were listening on Sunday when I was debating whether I was going to do that or not, the fact that I saw some 9-foot tall shadow thing in here. It's funny. I'm getting all these people messaging me saying, nope, shut it down. Don't do anything. Shut it down. Don't
do anything. No,
probably the smarter thing to do, but am I going to do the smarter thing? Probably not.
Well, I think that it's important to feel like you have command over your space. That you are able to, as Psalms and the Bible would say, know your name, make it your own, command that, and not use your body as a channel or a conduit, but do what you've got to do to pronounce and possess your safe space as needed. Do you feel like it's interdimensional or demonic? What do you think it is, Matt?
I don't like that. We've had things in here before that I feel like are not nice. I definitely, the vibe I'm getting here is this isn't something nice, Nice things don't portray themselves. Well, I mean, not bad things will try to portray themselves as something nice. I don't think anything good will try to portray itself as something.
They don't make you uncomfortable in the ways that it has for you guys, at least.
And this is a very,
I agree.
Very large shadow image. And then we have one definite scratch incident. We may have had 2. One happening within 30 minutes of seeing that big black thing.
No, thank you.
Yep.
No, thank you. Get back.
Ironically, not to side. I'm not going to do a deep dive in this. Yesterday was a day of profound. That's why I find it very interesting. I had profound, spiritual messages, huge billboards of messages of stuff coming through, and then it's almost like big scary thing shows up to say, "Hey, I'm here to discourage you."
Mothman's been seen in Chicago.
Mm.
People are having profound visions.
Don't travel to Chicago and stay off bridges.
But I mean, for real.
Yeah, I'm not being flippant. I'm just
No,
really,
the firefighters are reporting it,
if
guys.
I heard Mothman was seen in my town, I wouldn't go on any bridge.
How do you feel about it? How do you
I
feel?
do think there is something to that whole like warning of impeding doom, because it's weird how, who knows, it can become its own like self-sustaining thing. But there've been so many reports of people seeing that type of entity right before something bad happens. That, yeah,
There's something to it, guys. There
I
is
think
something to it. So Steph, Ruth, those of you guys kind of joining in. Yes. So just kind of be wary. The dreams, the past few weeks, and we told you guys with this shift in Neptune last week, I'm pretty sure we shared. You can go back and check the record. But we shared with you guys that with the veil being kind of thin, these big solar flares, gamma, all sorts of craziness. Our predictions have been pretty accurate. So if you have been able to join us in the past and have your own predictions, you know what we're talking about. Get your pen and paper ready. We're going to get into the astrology for the next week ahead. And I've done it because you guys, you joined me a few weeks back on the social media. I don't remember though. So we're just going to have to delve into it.
that's funny because I kind of wing it. I never remember. It's usually people in the chat that say, "Hey, you said on Tuesday this would happen," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, I have to go back.
Yeah, I don't remember it. That's what's kind of crazy. But I think that's how psychic intuition almost works. It's almost dissociative stream in that way.
Yeah, I find if I try to prep it out in advance, the more I think about it, the more errors. Because then you start like overthinking it. So it's easier to just kind of like what comes off the top of your head, just shoot it out there.
Well, here we go. Let's delve into this. Let's get into this. January 18th. That's going to be tomorrow. That's Wednesday. Two things happen. So put 2 dots down on that paper. The first thing that happens is Mercury will find, oh, thank heavens. Mercury goes direct in Capricorn. What do we have to say about that?
I'll take this as a very good thing because Capricorn's all about goals and achievement, and Mercury's thoughts and communication. So goals and things that get outlined tomorrow. I always think of like the workspace when I see this stuff, but it's going to be like what you hear is going to be like accurate. Whereas like some of the goal setting stuff prior to this, when it was in retrograde, would get garbled. There's going to be communication and clarity on goals. So pay attention to what any entity says as far as what they're planning on doing, because the message will be clear, whether that is like Congress, whether that is your company, whether that is your spouse, your friends, anything that's announced tomorrow of I plan on doing X because it has shifted to direct from retrograde. It's going to be accurate.
The things to put into place, those things to finally get going, those emails to your tax lady, the call to the chimney sweeper, the getting the car detailed, the kids signed up for baseball. I don't know what you guys have got going on. But these are some of the things just off the top of my head. I feel like maybe we've been putting them off, or we have felt like we haven't gotten the right email. Tomorrow's a good day. Even though it's a random Wednesday, middle of the week, that Mercury going direct, people that may have been hard or difficult to get a hold of, this is going to be a great time to reach out, make those plans, get in touch for the Christmas next year, and go ahead and get it on paper and start doing those things. I like that you use the word accurate because, I'm always looking for a way to put it into action. And accurate, I think, is a really good, relevant, accurate, and helpful. It's always one of those good measurements to keep for intuition. One more thing does happen.
I'll just say real quick, people are going to mean what they say and say what they mean tomorrow. So keep that just in mind.
Ooh, I like that. I always want to add that. Mean what you say. Say what you mean. Don't beat around the bush tomorrow. In other words. But one more thing happens tomorrow that I think is really significant. Boom. Let me share this with you. Those of you in the chat room joining us live on YouTube, see it first. Oh, Matt's pursing his lips there.
Yeah, it is a big one.
It's a hit. It is a big one. The Sun in Capricorn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Two big C words. What? And Pluto. So how do you see that?
So whenever it's Pluto, it's going to be something big. And Pluto's been in Capricorn. It's actually going to move out of Capricorn soon, which actually makes me a little nervous because it's that big, profound change. And Sun's in Capricorn, so conjunct has a lot of power to that conjunction. So now we have all the overall energy aligning with the bigger impersonal kind of universal moving. So we got a lot of movement. So I see this even combining with the earlier thing of people of Mercury going direct in Capricorn. And that is not only are goals going to be announced, so pay attention to what is said, but there's going to be a lot of energetic kind of tailwinds to help push whatever gets announced tomorrow. So pay very, very close attention to anything that gets kind of announced tomorrow. Goals, objectives, we're going to do X, any of those things, because there's going to be a big energetic push towards having that all happen. So tomorrow is a really, you're not going to necessarily see the things happen tomorrow, but tomorrow is, if you want to kind of think ahead and plan ahead, tomorrow is a great day to really pay attention to what people are saying, because not only are they going to say what they intend, it's going to happen.
Good manifestation day. In other words, even though it is, again, the middle of the week, if you've been feeling a little lethargic and not really feeling like you can get much done, tomorrow I feel like you're going to have some of this start to lift, some of that more meaningful motivation coming to the top there. And with Mercury direct, people calling you, maybe some encouragement, some, hey, did you hear about that one thing? And it's going to maybe inspire you. So be aware of what people are speaking. I love that advice, Matt, that people are going to say what they mean. And so choose your words wisely, maybe who you talk with.
So I'm going to give a couple examples here just because of things I've seen in the news. If you hear we are willing to collapse the debt ceiling, that's not a bluff. They're going to collapse the debt ceiling. If tomorrow Putin announces, yeah, we're going to, keep pushing this, we're going to use nukes, they're probably planning on it. Like whatever gets announced tomorrow, the intent is to follow through on whatever gets announced. There's not going to be bluffing tomorrow.
Okay. Someone in the chat room says, I'm going with the Biden mess investigation is going to announce more information.
Well, with that, I don't see this energy as so much on conclusions as intent. So if there's an announcement of we're going to investigate someone on that, it's going to happen. But that's the biggest thing. I don't think you're going to see a lot of results tomorrow. But tomorrow you're going to get clarity on what people's intentions are. Things that get announced tomorrow are going to get followed through and happen, because it's that Capricorn energy and Caps follow through and shit.
Announcements. Think announcements.
Pay attention to the announcements, not necessarily what intentions are stated tomorrow are going to get followed through on. So tomorrow's a big day. I would say, based on all this stuff, tomorrow's going to be a big day. Yeah,
it will be a big day. I feel like there's going to be possibly job offers. I think that there's going to be shifts. I think the World Health Organization and different things are going to kind of come forward that do shift maybe the momentum of people's life decisions. We're going to see maybe take effect, influence, maybe. But something happens on Thursday. Only one thing, but I can assure you, kind of looking ahead into the weekend, I see colors. Colors on my Excel spreadsheet means something big. But just one thing happening on Thursday that's not too big. And why do we say that? Not too big. Because it's not a planetary movement per se. It's the moon. So on Thursday, the only thing happening is the moon waning into Capricorn. Another Capricorn, add another dot there. What does that mean, Matt, when you're seeing that on the old list?
Full disclosure here, as we almost say every week, but in case you're new, I got to call this out. Sarah puts a lot more stock in moon movements than I do. But keep in mind that the moon changes about every 2.5 days. So it is significant, but this is nothing like the Pluto movements that are, take forever, or like these are very quick things. So this is your inner emotional life. And for the next 2.5 days or so, it's going to be very much focused on goals. So it's very interesting. We got a lot of things aligning in Cap in the next 48 hours. So there's going to be a whole lot of goal setting, achievement pushing, a move to really get crap done. It's a good time to get things done if you need to kind of kickstart projects or things that are going on. So yeah, this is going to be an emotional space also aligned with achieving things and getting stuff. So I guess the good news is everything's kind of aligning in the same direction. So my advice is don't fight the current. Use it to your advantage.
And I think alignment is the word that you're using a lot there. I wonder when you see or hear alignment being used over and over in a space of like macro, political, bigger things. What does that?
Well, the other thing I call out, I always kind of do this like Cap Scorpio dynamic. I feel like in my own opinion, Capricorn and Scorpio are the two most intense signs, but Capricorn is cold intensity. So this is intensity, but there isn't a whole lot of emotion. So it's kind of like head versus heart. I think like Scorpio is more the heart intensity. Capricorn is more the head. So there's going to be this intense push for things, but there's not going to be a whole lot of warm and fuzzy with it. It's kind of like, well, this might suck, but this is the way it's going to be, and we're going to get so. I wouldn't expect with all this energy in Cap, I wouldn't expect a whole lot of emotional support the next 48 hours. But you could get a lot of shit done.
Cold and independent.
Yeah. Capricorn's cold intensity. Scorpio I consider emotional intensity. Cap's like
intense.
Cap's like heartless intensity.
In my mind, I'm seeing the pruning of a bonsai tree. I see like the importance of making important pruning, small cuts, trims, but like being purposeful and skilled with it. So hi, Steve. Hi, Katie.
This is a horrible, I've used this before and I gotta say, but I think this highlights, this is a horrible story or thing to think about. But I feel like survival situations, like Scorpio and the water signs, if you had like a family and they were starving to death, like the whole family would starve to death to make sure the kids had enough food. Whereas like Cap energy is like, the parents need to stay strong. So sorry, the kids need to starve to death and we'll go on and have more kids. That's kind of the
like in Vikings.
Not that I'm in favor of that. I don't want to say that, but that's kind of like it's that really cold, we will do whatever we need to do to carry on. And your feelings about it are kind of irrelevant.
Man,
that's
hard to
hear. My opinion, that's like brutal Cap intensity.
Wednesday's the day to do money things, not Thursday.
These next 48 hours are not a time to appeal to anyone's emotional, whether they're Cap or not. This whole energy that's going on right now is just very no warm and fuzzies to any of this. So this is not, you do not want to appeal to somebody's emotional side right now because it's just not going to get heard.
It won't work.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So
I feel your pain, but is the way it's got to be. Is what you're
right. No, I appreciate that. However, I feel like the office space. So yeah, about this weekend, shoot, we don't care. There's no caring here. So then it's Friday. Knowing that people are going to be making some big life alterations, decision shifts tomorrow, hearing some headlines, people really showing their intentions tomorrow. And then Thursday, just a little cold shoulder, little awareness there, little nod to the, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I feel that. And then you're going to have Friday. Friday morning, we have an astrological shift of the sun, and it's the only thing happening on Friday. So it's the only dot you need to make on your paper. But I think that it is significant seeing how the dominoes are laying out. The sun moves into Aquarius. And you guys know, if you've joined us for this show, we've been doing this now for years. God, that's weird to say. Almost, right? Wow. Aquarius means rules, baby. Rules, baby.
Yep.
What kind of
the
rules?
End of my sun sign season ends on Friday. Aquarius ruled by Uranus. It's the rebel. It's the thinking outside the box. It's innovative energy. It's rule breaking energy. It's anti-establishment energy. One of the reasons why we're getting into Pluto's going to waffle back and forth between Cap and Aquarius, but why I am a little nervous about when Pluto settles into Aquarius, because It's definitely like a revolutionary type energy. I see a lot of big like shakeups and stuff going on. But yeah, Aquarius, whereas Cap gets things done, Aquarius changes things up. So out of all 12 signs, this is the sign and the energy of like blowing crap up and rebuilding it in a different image.
Blow it all up. You know, I feel sometimes there's a little bit of that bear in a hole. You know, it's hibernating. The creatures of the universe, at least in this northern hemisphere where I'm at, we feel like these big shifts happening around us, and you're just kind of watching and waiting. You're watching and waiting. That Steph activist, humanitarian energy. Yeah. You're just kind of like a volcano bubbling underneath, shifting as things shift and opportunity presents itself. The pressure unleashes. And Friday, this is when it's going to be. Is this the gun? Is this the gun shift? What new campaign is it going to be? What is it? Is it the gas stoves?
No, see, I see
What happens on Friday?
I see it in the other way. I see.
What is it? What is it?
I
What is
see
it?
the house. You know, this is U.S. centric, but I see the house with the power of the purse. We're gonna realign crap. Although, just so everybody knows, because I was texting with somebody earlier on this, my own opinion is there's a little difference between the American government and World Wrestling Entertainment. It's all fake. Even the guys that claim to be outsiders, it's all fake and it's all staged, and it's the same folks behind the scenes running the whole thing.
Well, and it's
that's
really
that's my view. So that's why I'm always cynical on it, because I feel like it's all bullshit. Like none of it, like it's not two different teams. It's all the same folks. Just
well, I need to send you. I know that you're not a huge proponent of watching like YouTube streams, especially those of political nature. Whereas I do, I watch both sides. I like to see how they go back and forth because, you know, I work with people on both sides. So I like to be privy to the communication. And recently the Louder with Crowder, which is a more conservative, cynical humor gang from the Comedy Central arm, they went on this big, like, you know, showing their disclosed contracts like today, like, we aren't going to accept your money. We're not going to be bought out. And that these were buyouts from like their own Republican conservative people trying to buy them out because they were gaining too much momentum in a certain direction and not willing to add advertisements and change their script. And they were like, I can't believe it. This whole time, it's all the same people. It's all the same people. And it was kind of a sad thing to watch because it was not funny. It was not scripted. It was very off, you know, and it's very much what you're saying. So I think on Friday, there's gonna be something. What do you guys think in the chat? What's it gonna be?
I think you're gonna get a lot. But this is feeding into my year predictions that we did. So I still feel by the end of the month, I don't know if it's gonna be Friday. It could be Friday. By the end of the month, there's gonna be a big like security thing that's gonna come up. That's gonna like change the whole dynamic, and particularly in US, we're gonna just start focusing on ourselves. And sorry guys, we just gotta take care of our own crap, whether that's like a cyber attack or you know, something bigger. But that's gonna happen. That's the one thing. And then the other thing I think is gonna happen is you know, they're gonna start telegraphing. It won't be till the summer, but I do believe we are gonna collapse the debt ceiling, and that's gonna set off a whole bunch of unintended consequences. So pay attention to your, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would pay attention to your money because I don't feel this is going to be a good year for investments
of certain kinds, for sure. It's really interesting because and those of you who joined me in the social media realm weeks ago, when we did our monthly jot of all of these things, we put, I have been singing Fraggle Rock on this day. Fraggle Rock. I don't know if you ever remembered that. And I had put, pay attention to light. Pay attention to the light. Pay attention to the high risk of the realm. And when I say that, it's almost, whether it be your space of security, your space of emotional security, financial security, that shift, that fragile rock. And then I was like, fragile? Like, is this that leg lamp that is going to be shattered by someone we really love? Like, what is going to happen here? I think this is a leg lamp Friday. I'm going to call it leg lamp Friday. For those of you in the Gypsy tribe, you'll know what that means. But yeah,
that's the side thing, because some people were saying more. I honestly also believe on the yearly predictions and stuff. On the right hand side of things, Trump's going to end up being too damaged. It's DeSantis that's going to take over. Which, if you're on the right hand side of things, which I'm a middle of the road guy, but objectively, I think on the right hand side of things, I think if you have better chances rallying around DeSantis than you do Trump. So I think that's overall a good thing. But yeah, I think you're going to see less of Trump as the year goes on and more of him, of DeSantis.
He's going to get sick. You think he's going to get sick prediction?
I also don't think it's going to be Biden in 24, but that's a different set of things.
Me either. Ooh.
I think he's gone. I think they're both gone. I think it's a new plate, but I think the ball's in. It's DeSantis's to lose on the right.
It's so exciting.
I'm about 95% sure Trump won't be the guy in 24.
It's so exciting. Who knows what's in store? Well, Saturday we're going to have an idea. Because something shifts in Aquarius. It's very big, and it's only one thing happening on Saturday. So, guys, this is also the day that write it down on your calendar. Go outside and look up if you're able to, if the weather allows for us to. This is going to start to be from the 20th to the 22nd, that window of opportunity to see that once in a lifetime green comet. Think about how that shakes communities that don't have access to the internet to know what that is. People that have been hearing bombs, but they don't have access to knowing that that's just an astronomical thing or some phenomenon. People stirring about aliens, seeing something out in the middle of their campsite. Oh, you're hearing stuff. Or communities.
It was one of my kids, but I was wondering what I was hearing. But it's one
that collective consciousness. You're going to see a huge green comet thing stream across the sky. How is that ripple going to change things? And it's happening on a Saturday that also happens to be the new moon in Aquarius. And it's a Saturday night. And I ain't got no
So I always view these moon signals and kind of like if you picture it, like it can all flow in like a constructive thing. So if like the last moon cycle was Capricorn and goal setting, Aquarius is all about changing things up. So I view it as in Capricorn season, if you identified what your goals are for the year, now you're entering into the season of what do I need to change to help get to those goals. And so that is the energy of this cycle. So I'll put that emphasis in Aquarius season the next month. Think about if you've already set up your goals for the year. Now it's okay. What do I need to change to get there? Because if your goal involves something different, you can't keep doing the same behaviors and expect a different result. So what needs to change?
What does need to change? And what is going to change? And do we have any control in this change? Do we?
No.
Do you think?
You're going to hit my own philosophy. I feel we always have. I'm not one of those like falling for the whole victimhood thing. I feel we always have control and we always have options. I hate when people say I don't have a choice. You always do have a choice. You just don't like the other options. And so it's just you got to navigate. So I'm an advocate of having very clear sets of guiding principles for your life, whatever they are. And I feel this fits for our country. This fits for people get in trouble when they sacrifice their core principles for some short-term opportunity. Stay true to your principles, and you'll keep yourself out of trouble. It's when you start muddling those things. When you think about our country, I know this is again U.S. centric, but when we start doing things that kind of go against what our founding principles are, those are the things that even if at the time it was like, well, we had to do it because of X, or it causes long-term more problems. You're better off just staying true north. Stick with your whatever those things are. You could, Your goals could be, and your principles could be, I want to be a total ass. That's totally fine. Just stay true to yourself. When you start muddying those things up is when you start getting in bad shape, because nothing is very consistent and coherent, and all gets muddy.
I appreciate that, being aware and staying true. I had written the neurolinguistic space for this is the word right, RITE, but also to expand on how it sounds when you say it, what the word means when it's right, or to be right, a right, our rights, to write it down. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is about ritual, about what is approved of, what is best in action, and in many ways, almost a sacrament or an initiation. And when you mentioned going true north, principles, staying true, this new moon in Aquarius, as things shift around you, there's a scene in the labyrinth, someone's been changing my marks again. This isn't fair, and she gets upset because she's been writing washable lipstick on little squares as she walks. And mind you, she was, they weren't accurate, but they were also written on someone's home. And so the little creatures would come up and, flip her off and then shift her things around. And the labyrinth is always changing anyway. So what was the right thing to be doing or to be angry about? And like, if that didn't make your skin crawl over the lipstick against concrete, I don't know. But it just, what's right?
I'll add, if nobody's done this, I always like to do things in threes because I think it's easy to remember three things. I would take this time and this energy as you're going in all this cap space and goals and everything, transitioning into Aquarius, kind of come up with your what are the three guiding principles for your life, and just try to keep everything within those guardrails. And I personally believe it might not be a short term, it might be over, a longer time period. You will, if you stay true to what those guidelines are, you'll end up in a much better place, other than just kind of letting circumstances kind of just drive you in one way or the other.
Principles is a really complex word. When I hear you saying that, I think, wow, okay, that is a really great thing to do. But I know for many people, principles is going to be difficult. Aquarius is like the bumpers in life, maybe even boundaries, what you're willing to do or not do. My goal is I want to make $50,000 more, but I'm not willing to do this. I'm willing to do this. I'm not willing to work 80 hours a week, but I am willing, to work 60 hours a week. Like understanding what your principles are, staying true to what is right, what it is that you're willing to do of service and action. Start defining those things. Write it down.
I'll tee mine up, but in case anybody wants to know. So and people that know me well know these anyway. It's number one's punch the bullies of the world in the teeth. Number two is be kind, which this is going to be contrary, but I don't know, be kind to my fellow human beings. And then three, be the best dad and husband possible. And I try not to do anything that goes against those three things. Do I do it all the time? No, but I try my best.
See, and I think that just even saying those things out loud, being able to share them with other people so that people in your life know what they are, that allows them to know what you stand to be true and right. And then other people can join in with you, follow that leadership. And you're clear in communicating what it is that you're living for. I think that that's a good thing. I think that that's something that needs to be done specifically this Saturday for that new moon. And Aqua Arius, for those just starting in astrology, I know you see the word aqua, you think water, but I want you to think Rius, air. It's an air sign, Aquarius, but it's the middle. So when I think of aqua, it's that flexible to the fact that it has its feet in both, but it's pretty fixed in being air. And I always think of the don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't be so rigorously into whatever it is you're saying that you're willing to just spit it all out. It will be a socializing night, says Steph. So be maybe even a good night for trivia or game night or something like that, but not.
It's weird. I view the fixed signs as stubborn. So I view this as stubborn air. So this is stubborn thoughts, stubborn ideas. But I take that as that's why they're willing to like blow crap up, because they're kind of inflexible on their guiding principles and things. So they're willing to stir things up, piss people off, blow things up to kind of advocate for their ideas, which makes them, as somebody put it, they're great on change and, you know, some of the humanitarian type stuff. Like they're just, it's the anti-establishment sign.
I'm getting all kinds of kind of interesting visions there as you're talking. Okay, this is Saturday, guys. Write it down. Take this time right now. Validate your intuition. Whatever unique, crazy, wild, weird, intuitive things are coming into your brain. Who, what, when, where, why. Write it down. Send it to us in a direct message. Put it in the chat. Put it in your piece of paper. Do it. On Sunday, what's happening, man? 1, 2. 2 things. Oh, what a mouthful, too. Okay. 2 things are happening on Sunday. So write it down. This is the first one. Uranus goes direct in Taurus on Sunday morning.
So I want to quick say, somebody said about Aquarius, the most social and tolerant sign. I would not say most social. Gemini, I would give most social sign, followed by Sag. Aquarius is a weird one because Aquarius kind of has almost like the Gemini, kind of a two-faced reputation in that I think it depends if you're aligned with their change they want to be aligned, then you'll view them as very positively, but they can also be pretty brutal. Sorry, my son just came home from work, so they're going to go.
You have a real family. It's true.
So, yeah, so I wouldn't call them the most social sign, and I don't even know about on the tolerance thing. I think they're viewed as tolerant because they like to shake things up, so they probably tolerate like the anti-establishment type things more. They're the change agents. Aquarius are. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like crapping on Aquarius. I think there's a lot of positive things there, but they're the ones that they're innovators and they're the ones that drive change. They're not going to not change things just to accommodate people's feelings. That's more of a Libra thing or a water sign thing. Uranus direct in Taurus. So this is just, again, this is rebelling by not doing, rebelling by being stable and indulgent. So I know what you want me to do, but I'm going to stay home. This is just, since it's direct, I see these rebelling by not doing is actually going to work out in your favor as opposed to blowing up in your face. That's a pretty quick one.
I always see this as the curveball. It's the universal curveball.
But the curveball will have its intent. This will be the curveball that'll get thrown for the strike as opposed to the curveball that you hang up and they hit out of the park for a grand slam. That's retrograde.
What is this going to be? What prediction is this going to be? It's Sunday, and it's after the rules have shifted. It's after the social discussions and yippity yaps.
Look for someone or something making their opinion, particularly in Aquarius now, I'm going to rebel and change things up by not doing something I'm supposed to do. That could be a whole, and I don't want to get into, I'm giving high level examples here. So that could be somebody like, I know based on what everybody's saying, I should prosecute person X. I'm not. I know it's my responsibility. I should pay attention to issue X in the role I'm in. I'm going to ignore it. It's that kind of stuff. For those on this side, and I'm not politicizing this, for those on this side, Uranus in Taurus, the border situation is a great example, in my opinion, of kind of a Uranus and Taurus energy. There's problems there. No matter which side of the issue you're on, there's things that should get solved one way or the other. A Uranus and Taurus is just, I'm just not going to pay any attention to it. I'm going to rebel by not doing anything about it.
I see this as a statue moment. I see this as that taking steps to change what you want to see happen. but in the mind. These are mind steps. It's so weird to say that. They're only mind steps. They're silent mind steps. Mind steps. It's like, again, I'm seeing a lot of labyrinth references. So it's almost just like if you're out watching someone do a labyrinth, it's not a loud process. It's not like a game with cheering and direction. It can be a very quiet thing as you're taking in the notes, learning what you do and don't do, and things of that nature. Okay, so one more thing is happening on Sunday night, and to be honest, I feel like it's not as cryptic as the Uranus and Taurus movement. It's not even as big, but I feel like we're going to feel it more. And why would that be? Well, this is a Venus, Saturn, Moon conjunct movement, all happening on Sunday night. And it's Venus in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, with the waxing moon in Aquarius, all on Sunday night.
So this is important. I know they're all in the same sign. Are they all conjunct? Are they all like within the same like degree of each other? I'm assuming no.
Venus is conjunct with Saturn.
Right.
And then the moon is
neither one
waxing.
is conjunct with Aquarius. They're just in the same sign.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Venus. Oh wow. I just had another weird thing happen in this house.
What's happening?
I thought there was an animal like around my feet, like something
There's
moving
not?
down around my feet. I looked down here. There's like nothing. So I'm sorry. I had some weird thing. That's why I got distracted. I had a weird thing like moving like below me.
Truly haunted things happening over there.
I got some weird crap happening here. So yeah, Venus, it can be money, can be romance. I always like to go the romance thing because I think it's more interesting than money. Again, in Aquarius, it's kind of changing things up outside the box. Saturn is rules, but in Aquarius is breaking the rules. So I feel like this is the time to kind of do something different. So I see a lot of energy towards non-conventional things. So this is an energy that I view, since it's Venus and Saturn all in Aquarius. I view this as this is going to be a little more superficial. I look for some kind of announcement. It's probably more entertainment wise or something. Look for something like non-conventional. This could be somebody you didn't expect coming out of the closet. This could be, somebody married 20 years, the marriage is ending and leaving it for somebody, 30 years younger than they are. Look for like odd, non-conventional, kind of rule breaking things in this space. It could also be finance. So look for, there could also be, but it's a Sunday. So I don't think, but still look, there could be some kind of weird financial, we're going to change how we do X, we're going to change how we do cryptocurrency, or we're going to change how we're going to do our financial. I don't think so. I think that I'd see that more for the Capricorn. Since this is Venus and Saturn, I'm thinking of look for some kind of high profile, non-conventional romantic thing coming out.
Who is that?
That's a good question.
I'm putting that in there because that's really interesting.
It could be too. Like I don't view this energy as more like, some kind of big affair gets broken. I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be more, we've had this relationship, we've kind of kept it undercover, and now it gets like outed.
Outed.
I don't see it necessarily. I mean, it could be, but I don't see it. I see it more as like something non-conventional. So either like a huge age difference, or one of those couples in public that you look at them and go, wow, that's like a really weird combo. Could be that too.
Okay.
Think of like two celebrities that are very, very, very different, and finding out that they're like together, it could be something weird like that too.
Okay, well, here we go. I think it's gonna be, oh god, sorry. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. I have a dog too, and he's crazy. Apparently. Holy moly. Sorry guys. That really scared me. Give me a little moment there. Wow. Okay. Monday. Only one thing happens on Monday. Put one dot down. The waxing moon That means it's building, guys. It's going to be post new moon, and it's going to be in Pisces. What's it mean?
So emotions are going from that shake things up. Pisces is it's the last sign of the cycle. So it's very introspective. Think kind of like end of life. If you go to this kind of like deathbed perspective. So it's, so it's this very introverted. I saw a meme about Aquarius versus Pisces that I thought was interesting. So I'll just share this. It kind of relates to this. It was like Aquarius wants to mess you up, but ends up helping. Pisces wants to help you and ends up messing you up. So I found it kind of interesting. And that's because at least on my end, when I see the Pisces, there's like this self-sacrificial like energy to it. So it's like, we'll go, we'll all go down together kind of thing. And just, I always view like in any of those movies where the person kind of like gives themselves up for the team kind of thing. So they can all kind of move on. It's like Pisces stuff.
Pisces.
The guy in Titanic, letting her sleep on the door. That was more than big enough for him to hang on to. And that's a Pisces move.
Get up there. Are you sure, Jack? Hang on. Oh my God.
The girl on the door was not a Pisces.
No.
Jack may have been a Pisces.
See you later, Jack. I'm rich. I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she did that. Man, she kept on to that diamond all those years because she didn't need to use it because she was rich in other ways. And then that was crazy.
Throwing the diamond into the ocean, that's kind of a Pisces thing.
That was a Pisces move.
If
I can't enjoy it, no one can. Boop.
Letting Jack die was not a Pisces thing, though.
Dang. So
if he was a Pisces, they both would have gone in the water together and held onto the door and both died. That's more of a Pisces thing. I'm not crapping on. And the Pisces always seem to get mad that I'm not crapping. Like I'm just. It's there's like a self-sacrificial energy to put introspection. Very introspecting, kind of deep. How am I wired? What am I? It's kind of it's 12th house, so it's kind of inner psychology, all that stuff. But there is really this kind of take one for the team. My time is the last sign, so it's kind of like my time is done here. What can I do to help set things up for others?
Dang. The going out vibes. The going out. Peace out. By the way, one of those.
I'm trying to think in my head what the stain. I'm going to piss off some sign somewhere, but like I'm trying to think of what sign would most represent her staying on the door with enough room, being like, "Oh no, you just stay in that water."
Right. Tuesday. I can't believe this. What a fun week, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
For those of you joining us,
really long.
Man,
I feel like
we're doing great. We're doing great. We're just down to Tuesday.
Today.
It's already Tuesday. It's going to be a whole week from today, and that's it. And then there's only one thing that happens on Tuesday, but I'm not going to lie to you, man. When I see how this week has gone, how the dominoes have fallen, to know that it is going to end in a week from now in this way, with the sun in Aquarius sextile Jupiter in Aries. That's the Tuesday. Taco Tuesday for next week. And I think that's pretty significant. Anytime that Jupiter is doing anything, especially the gas giant in Aries, the firehouse, that's Wu-Tang Clan, baby. What is that for you when you see that? How does that make you feel?
So Leo, Jupiter's, I'm sorry, I went Leo because I'm saying my gut is Rose on the door. That was like a Leo move, in my opinion. But anyway, although Leos are generous, so maybe I'm wrong on that. So Jupiter's opportunity, and since Aries is so quick and impulsive, I feel like this is a opportunity that just pops up out of the blue and just presents itself with a very tight window. So it's kind of, you got to move without really thinking this stuff through. And since sextile is really kind of eliminating obstacles, I feel like you want to change things. So you have this Aquarius energy of change, mix things up. And all of a sudden there's going to be this weird out of left field, quick opportunity that pops up that, hey, we can really drive this change, but wow, this just like fell in our lap and we got to do this really fast and maybe not think it through. Aries is impulsive. So sometimes, that works out well. It's like a coin toss. Sometimes that impulsive move now works in your favor. Sometimes it'll blow up in your face, and Jupiter's not going to care Because as you always say with like the Chris Farley thing, Jupiter's like, try the cocaine. What's going to happen?
Come on, guys! Like just jumping into your wedding.
The best night of their life, and somebody else might be an addict in a ditch. And like it's just Jupiter's not going to care. So yeah, there's going to be some. So just look on the grid. Look for just like weird. Like this is going to be like some weird thing's going to like all fall in place and be like, wow, here it is. We got to do it. And
it all came together. Come together right now over me. Opportunities surrounding you.
Right place, right time to shake shit up.
Right place, right time, right.
Oh, this is hitting me. If you watch Harry Potter, it's like the liquid luck. Like he had no idea what was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, all these things started like falling into place in like really weird ways. That's kind of the Jupiter and Aries thing. It's just kind of like pop up.
I love it.
Is this Tuesday or Monday?
This is Tuesday. This is how it's going to come.
Yeah, I picture a fair amount of this could turn into some chaotic stuff. Like chaotic only in that I see a lot of change energy for Tuesday. Then stuff's going to get like shaken up on Tuesday.
Okay. That's a full week. That's it. What would you say is the overall prediction, overall energy for this next week ahead? What do you think that we should be on the lookout for?
I'm trying to remember everything I said along it. I feel I feel the overall theme this week is going to be big driving to change, because you have all that Capricorn stuff in the beginning where people are going to outline exactly what they're going to do. Then you're going to have that shift to shaking stuff up, and then you're going to have this opportunity coming. So I feel really pay attention to the news and what people say they're going to do, because I feel like in some fronts here, things are going to move this week. This isn't going to be like a logjam week. This is going to be a week where stuff moves significantly on both the macro kind of world stage and probably for people's personal lives as well.
I think when you said something there about the blockchain, the chaos of the delivering things, the way that I don't know how I'm feeling about that. Not the chain of command, but the supply chain. There's something in that word, like that chain, that step by step, that ability to work together, and how the energy is going to unravel for the rule breaking. I think the segregation, separation, and just working around and through rule breaking is going to be something that is going to be something to predict for.
We'll have to do this sometime with like all the superheroes and all the things on that, but it just hit me. Like, I feel like the Joker is Aquarius energy. That's where I would place Joker.
Yeah.
Particularly like the Heath Ledger type character Joker. Like I feel that's like very.
Oh, why so serious?
I'm gonna highlight how awful the world actually is.
Do you want to know why?
I'm not making it.
Yeah,
bad.
very.
I'm not making it bad. I'm just shining the light on all the stuff you guys are hiding.
Yeah, very talkative too about just things.
Yeah.
Not and feeling them, but not deeply feeling them, and being extravagant and dramatic without completely making a mess all the time. You know, he could do that all the time, but yet he sits at a table with people and manages to have a conversation. So, yeah, we should do a show like that.
Really quick, I just off the top of my, I'd have to really think about it, but just off the top of my head, I'm thinking Riddler, Gemini, Penguin, Pisces, Catwoman, Scorpio. I'd have to really think about it though, but those are like off the top of my head.
Let's do this one. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have
that's
to do
on
that.
the books. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and every Tuesday as you do. Don't forget to join Matt on the Sunday Night Dead this Sunday. Hopefully you do cover the Mothman. If not, whatever you should decide to do. I always know they're fun and scary. But Tuesdays, guys, every Tuesday here on the Paranormal Channel, Odyssey Radio, Astrology and Alchemy. What am I forgetting, Matt?
Anything? I think you got them all.
Right. Okay, I'm putting some stuff in the chat. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Be here or be square.
All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.